Hi, I'm Dr. Keith Johnson. As many of you know already, I sometimes answer some of my mail on these videos, especially when they pertain primarily to the video itself and somebody has some interest in something that I said or something they want me to answer on video. They say that sometimes. And I've got a lot of good mail, and I like getting those videos and letters and answering them. But I got to tell you, I've also received some pretty harsh letters from some of you. And some of you are just not kind. Some of you don't like me, you don't like my personality, you don't like the way I answered something. And in some cases, as I go over some of these things that I taped, I get the impression that in some ways you were right. Sometimes I was a little too harsh or too quick to come up with an answer that was probably not a good one. So it happens. We all make mistakes and we all have our ways of handling all this mail that takes place and this response. You get emotional response from what people have said to you and about you, and you try to figure it out. And try to figure out how to handle it. You know, the Bible has a suggestion. A soft answer turns away wrath. Now, I'm not the greatest. You got a lot of people on film that are a lot handsomer than I am, I hate to admit. Funnier than I am, better than I am, can speak well, can handle themselves better than I can. So you have a right and a reason to criticize and say, listen, I wish you'd do this or that or be better, and some of these do. But I have found, for example, one time I had one lady that was really criticizing me. How dare I step on her opinion, and how dare I keep sending her these videos? Well, if you ask me not to send you a video, I try to stop, and sometimes in office miscalculation, we miss. And we send out a video that somebody doesn't want to see. They don't want to see me. I can't believe that because look at this handsome face. But they don't want to see me. They don't want to hear me talk. Sometimes my teeth are in the way. Anyway, this one lady was really harsh, and she was harsh often. And I had answered her a couple times and tried to smooth things over and smooth them out. I couldn't do it. She just didn't like me. Can you believe that? But she did not like me. And so there was no way, no matter what I said, I couldn't seem to say the right thing. But to my defense, and a great help to me, was one of my fans that I've known over years, and I know her personally. She's been a dear friend, and she's actually sung in some of my presentations, sometimes when I visited a church or public speaking at a club or a meeting. She came as my soloist, and she has a beautiful voice. She sings. And I'd love to come to your club or your town hall meeting or your church. I'd love to visit you and speak with you, and I'd love to bring her. I'd love for you to hear her and other performers that work with me on a regular basis. But anyway, this one fan, or unfan I guess I should call her, was really irritated with me. She didn't want to get my videos. She didn't want to get anything that I had said or talked to her about. It didn't matter what the argument was or what the question was. She just didn't want to hear from me. So I thought we took her off of the list. But it turns out that after making a couple times sure that we had taken her off the list, that she was still getting my videos. Now why, I don't know. Why sometimes you take something off and you think you've already done it and got everything okayed, and then the next thing you know, somebody's still on the list. I've had a couple of people really irritated at me because they said they wanted to be off the list, And although we took them off the list, suddenly they were back top on the list, and we were all at it again. And she was really mad at me. She was mad because she had said she wanted to be off the list. She kept getting my videos. She didn't like what I was saying, and I was in trouble with her. I got to the point where I just didn't know what to do. I told her we tried to take her off the list. I thought we had taken her off the list. I thought she was gone, and I didn't want to intrude on her. I didn't want to impose my opinion on hers. If she didn't agree with me, she had a right to disagree with me. And I thought, if you don't agree with me, then just get rid of my video. Turn it off or turn me off or something like that. Well, she kept getting it for some reason. And none of my team could explain to me why. They had taken her off the list time and time again. She was still getting the stuff, and there was something electronic going on that kept the videos coming. And boy, I got a letter from her really harsh, really rough. How dare I impose on her? How dare I keep insisting that I'm so right and she's so wrong? How dare I not listen to her and take her off the list, which I thought we had done? And I didn't want to impose myself on her. So I tried nicely to say this to her. I said, well, I thought we had taken you off the list. And I thought, I didn't know you were still getting my videos, and I'm sorry if you don't like me or my videos, and I'll try to remember to make sure that my staff keeps you out of the loop and doesn't send you them. But it didn't matter. She kept getting them. Someone somewhere was not doing it right, was not taking her off properly. And I've had that happen a few times. When somebody wants to be off, they want to be off. They want to be done. I don't want to impose my thoughts on you if you don't want to hear me, and I don't blame you. If you don't want to hear me, you shouldn't. You ought to be able to turn me off. But I didn't know what to say to her. I had already apologized. I had already explained that I don't know why it was happening like that, and I was sorry it was. And I think I finally ended some email by saying, well, could you please just turn me off and ignore me? And when you see me on, just turn me off. A lot of women turn me off, but that's another story. Anyway, she was really upset with me. And I finally gave up. I couldn't convince anybody that I wanted to be in her team, and she didn't want to listen to me and didn't want to listen to anything I had to say. And she was very upset with me because I kept coming into her living room, I guess. Well, one of my friends, one of my fans, the girl that I mentioned that travels with me sometimes and sings, does very well. When she, excuse me, I'm sorry. When she saw what that lady had written to me, before I had a chance to respond, I wasn't going to respond because I didn't know what to say. I'd already said I was sorry, and I was sorry it was happening, and I wish I could stop it, and I don't know why I can't. But she wrote me in my defense. She said, Dr. Johnson is trying to help people. He's trying to help them live a better life. He wants them to experience God in their life. He wants Jesus in their hearts so that they could live forever. He's trying hard to help you. Why are you so mean with him? Why do you say such mean things to him? Why don't you just let him do the best he can and just ignore him if you don't like him that much? But we love what he's doing, and we're trying to help him. Now that was a nice letter for me. I mean, I kind of needed the encouragement. And then the lady responded, and I was worried about that. Uh-oh, here's another letter from that lady, and now we're in trouble. So I opened it up, and here's what it said. I'm sorry I was so rough on Dr. Johnson. I got to admit, I got a little upset and angry, and I wish I hadn't. And I know that he's probably trying to do some good, and so I'm just going to leave him alone, and I'll let him leave me alone. And I'm sorry for what I said. and I hope he does well. Well, now, I was surprised. That was a nice letter. It was kind. It was abrupt but honest. It was saying she didn't necessarily agree with me, but she was as kind as she could be to me, and she wished me well. All of a sudden, my feelings towards her turned. I never met the woman. You can understand why. But the Bible says, a soft answer turns away wrath. And that's how we ought to handle things. We need to be kind with people. There's no reason for me to judge or be angry because you don't like what I say. Don't listen to me. I'm not always right. Sometimes I make silly mistakes. Sometimes I don't say the right thing. Sometimes I don't enunciate clearly. Sometimes my teeth are in the way. But I appreciated she took the time to say to me she was sorry and that she was going to be kinder to me. I never heard from her after that. And of course, except for these videos, unless they're still coming to her, she never heard from me either. But isn't the way we should be? We need to be gentle. We need to be kinder. I don't care what somebody has done to us. We need to approach them like Jesus does, with love and forgiveness. We need to do what we can to help. And we need to try to understand that somebody may not be mad at you. I don't think that lady's mad at me. I think that lady's mad at something else that's bothering her in life. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, and I could come up with all kinds of jokes as to what it might be, and I'm not going to, so I don't want to offend her. But there's all kinds of reasons that we get mad, and all kinds of reasons that we get short in our answers, and all kinds of reasons why we don't like people because of the way they act or we act, or we're jealous, we're mad, we're upset, we're not doing whatever he's doing or she's doing, and so we feel inadequate, or who knows why. Nobody needs to understand why. All of us should be kinder and gentler. And when my friend wrote that lady, and that lady responded with that kind letter, I'm able to talk to you about her in gratitude and thanks for her being honest, for her opening up and speaking, for her telling the problem, and still being kind. And now I have a reason to be kind to her because I like her. I'm grateful for what she said, and I'm grateful for what I understand to be her way of handling this situation. So let me give you an advice. Be kind to one another. Be kind and gentle. Relax. Treat people like they need to be treated, like you would want to be treated. Treat people the way you treat yourself. You know, love your neighbor as you love yourself. We need to understand that everybody doesn't react to the same things the same way we do. And everybody doesn't have to have my opinion. And my opinion is not always right. And I am not always correct in everything I think. And I know that. And I'm not only willing to be corrected, but I'm willing to discuss. It's exactly the way God said. Come now and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. God is willing to work with you and your shortcomings. And more than that, he loves you. He's gentle. He never gets harsh with you. He's anxious to help you, which is much better than I would be. I get harsh. I'm not gentle all the time. Sometimes I don't feel good. And it has nothing to do with you or somebody else. It has to do with me and how I feel. Sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I feel anxiety. Sometimes I'm irritated. And then I might be a little short in some of the answers I say, or so might your husband, or so might your wife. Maybe something bothers them, maybe something hurts them, and they can't talk well like they could if they felt good. And when they feel good and are rested, sometimes they can be kinder. You can be kinder. I can be kinder. And sometimes I can be gentler. if things don't hurt me as bad. Or the older I get, the more things start to hurt. But people are like that. Be kind. Like God, be forgiving. Realize that not everybody knows how to make life work. We make mistakes. We need to love each other and make this a world that is worth living in for our neighbor. We need to help our neighbor, feed our neighbor. If our neighbor needs help, we need to help them. We need to do what we can to be of service to them. So keep in mind, a word to the wise is sufficient. The soft answer turneth away wrath.